Good morning. This is Dorothy Kielty, and this is week 2 with the Christmas in July 2022 project. To search for the creations in this, use hashtag Christmas in July 2022 project. The creators of this collaboration are Teri Lee of Sweet Pea Papers and Lisa Fisher with Lisa Fisher's Paper, Lace, and Bling and her Etsy shop. Okay, all the collaborators are listed below the video, and please check out their videos. There's just some wonderful creative people who are adding stuff to it. I want to talk about the papers that I'm using in this. So I am using just about anything I can find. Stuff I had laying around, stickers and all things, but I used Cassie Stalsberg with Junkin 101 with Cassie, her kit, and Denise Marvet from DM Designs USA. They both have Etsy shops where you can get some of the papers I've used here. I also used some things that I had from Rach and Bella Crafts and Paulette Slater's Facebook group, Printables for Your Junk Journal with TLC. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. What I'm going to demonstrate today is a little sort of interactive thing that I'm adding to a couple of the pages. Okay, first of all, let me go to the back. I just love this little bag, and so I decided to turn it into a pocket. So I just cut part of it off. I made it, folded the edges over so it stands up, and I've got this darling little pocket on the back page. Okay, so I've added a few more things here and there around it, but what we're going to do today, first of all, is to show you, nope, there's an earlier one, darn it. Oh, here it is, for day 2. This is just a slide, a very simple slide that is on a belly band that goes up and down here. And I'm going to show you how to make a slide similar to this. So it's a belly band so things can go behind here. So that's one example of it. And then over here, I saw it. Here's an example where Santa can take off and land down on this house so it slides around. So the one I'm going to show you is pretty simple, but I'll come back to this and give you a couple of hints going into it. Okay, and here we are, the page where we're going to put our slide, and it's going to be another belly band. So this was one of Paulette Slater's printables. And what I've done is I'm making a belly band out of it. And I wanted to show you the way I size belly bands. So I've folded the bottom, and I'm just going to take it up a tiny bit and just fold this over the page to mark where the top of the page is. Okay, so now you can score this with a scoreboard or just fold it right down. So now when I go, this will fit on the page nicely. Now, the way the belly band, or the way the slide works when I do it, is I'm going to use a button on the back, and these are some examples. I started out with a button that was too small, and I decided to go with bigger ones. It makes it a little better. But what I want is a button that has a knob that sits out the back. See this? I'm going to cut a hole in there, and this is what's going to slide up and down. Okay, to make the design. Now, what I've chosen to slide on this is this cute angel, and so I like to decorate behind the slide. So this one is going to have a little pocket at the top that we can put something in, and the slide will go up, and This angel will slide up and down here, and then also some pretty blue stars that I'll put around. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put the pocket on the top to start. I am going to trim this off a little bit. Now there actually is a little bit of a design up here, but I just want it to be a little bit smaller. Okay, and this is going to be a flat pocket. It's not going to hold a lot of things, but it is going to have something that can kind of stick up over the top of the journal, which I think is very cute. Okay. Now I'm just going to put glue, let it run down here a little bit, on 3 sides. I'm using Fabri-Tac glue. Okay. And we want to make sure that you can stick something in here. So here's a little envelope that would almost fit. You go here. If I'm at all worried about the pocket gluing together, I'll put a little piece of wax paper down there to help hold it in place. Now, as you can see, from either one of these buttons, the slide, the hole I'm going to cut for the slide needs to be less than 1/4 inch. Okay, so let me get this out of the way. Okay, now the way I'm going to cut this is just very simple. This angel is not going to slide as much as the other one is, and I'm just eyeballing it. What I did with the first one I did is found the center of my tag here and mark the center, and then I just cut on both sides. Well, actually, let me just show this. So I'm lining this tag up on this grid to find the center, and the center is going to be right on this line. So I'm going to go into the tag a tiny bit and come down here just a little bit for the angel. Okay, now I can move this over and I can cut down on this side of it. And I'm going to move this, I'm going to turn this around so I can see that I'm eyeballing a more or less straight line. I'm going to cut here. And then I'll cut across the top of this and across the bottom of this. Okay, and pull this out carefully. Okay, didn't quite go through all the way, which is fine. Okay, and I'm just going to cut across here. Okay, so now the angel, the button is going to go in the back with this up. I want to make sure that it slides good. Okay, and then this is going to be attached to the angel. Okay, now that I've got this this position so I can see where the hole is, I can position these stars so that they can hang out over the edge, but I don't want them to interfere with the slide here in the center, okay? And I like to have something that it can be revealed as my design slides up and down. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these on. And you can, of course, if it interferes with the slot for the slide, you can always cut it off a little bit. Okay, so we'll put that one right there. This is not going to interfere with the pocket because it's going on top of the pocket. and we're just going to put little kind of flattish things in the pocket. Okay, so let's put this one down here. And we'll put this one more at the top. Okay, and because that's an even number, we're going to add this tiny little blue star. Odd numbers are generally more pleasing to the eye. I'm just going to put that right up there, okay? So while that's drying, we're going to work on getting this angel nose. Now the button is going to be behind it with the angel here. And so we need a little piece of paper or cardboard or something to go behind this angel. So here's a little piece of cardboard, and I'm just going to cut this. It is going to go, no, this is going to go on the angel. Okay, let's make it a little bit. Okay, so now it can kind of go back there. And then what I'm going to do with the button is I'm actually going to sew it into place. Now, depending on how thick your cardboard is, you can sometimes just use the needle to poke the hole in it, or you can do like I'm doing here and use, this is actually a ice pick, but something to work as a little pointy thing, okay? I don't know what to call it. A punch, okay? Now I am just using kite string. This is kite string that was you know, in our basement storage from who knows when. Now this is going to be taped to the back of the angel, and so this is going to be sewn like this. Okay, whoops. I did that wrong. I want the holes on this one. I was using square pieces, but square doesn't fit. I want the holes to go sideways because I want this to be attached to the back of the angel, and then I want the narrow part of this to be what's going to slide, okay? So I'm going to start with coming from the back through here, through the button, and then come back down the other side like this. Best if you don't tie it in knots like I just did. Okay, so this is on this side. Okay, we're going to pull it through so I have a bit of a tail. I'm leaving a little bit longer tail because I'm going to be tying a knot on the back of this. Okay, so we'll go through this a couple times. To secure it. Okay, so we're going to pull that tight, and now we're going to tie this into a knot. And then I'm also going to secure it with glue. Trim this off and put a little glue on it, just in case my knot comes off. Okay, so what you're going to see is this button is going to go into this hole. That's a good idea to make sure it works there. And then it's going to slide up and down, and that'll move the angel up and down. Okay, so now we need to attach it to the angel. Now, you can probably just use glue for this, but what I have been using is this carpet tape. I use carpet tape to secure when I have floating spines. I use carpet tape to secure that. This is made to hold carpet to a floor forever. It is so strong that I makes me very confident that it's not going to pull loose. Okay, so this is just like a double-sided tape. I'm going to put it on the back of this. You'll notice okay, and I want to make sure that it doesn't stick over like that. So here, we're going to trim it to size. Now, it's actually a mesh. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on the other side. So when I take this off, there's a mesh that adheres to that. And then that's going to go to the back of this. You don't get a second chance. So figure out where it's going to go and place it down there. I'm going to put it like that. Okay? So there you go. Now my angel can float. When I put this through here, okay, now the angel can go up and down. And I don't care if she flops around a little bit. If you do care, you can use a second button to secure it, but then you need to think about where exactly that's going to go. Okay, so there she is. Now the other thing that happens is that on the back of here, you've got two things. One, you don't really want this background showing through, but also if you don't cover this button, then things could snag on it when you're putting it inside. So this can be, doesn't have to be anything very heavy or anything. I've got some book pages here. I'm just going to tear off a book page. Now when you're gluing it, remember you're going to put it over here, but you don't want the glue to interfere with the slide. So whether you use glue or whether you use double-sided tape around the edges of it, something to secure it, you want to have it just alongside the edge so that it can slide. Well, actually, it can go up a little bit, but you start getting close to that button and it starts getting sloppy. I did put one on too close and it interfered, and I had to rip it off and do it again to get it right. So I think it's better to just glue it well, but make sure no glue touches the button or the slide, okay? Now, if you have a little flatter button than this one's a little round, it may make it a little easier for it to slide. You also could take two buttons, a smaller one and a larger one, and put one on each side of the slide to make it work, and that would also work. So here we go. Now we're just going to glue this into place. This is the page. Okay, so I'm going to glue the top on this. Again, having a little bit of an edge here gives the gives the belly band more room. Now, I purposely made this with only 2 signatures in a pretty wide center so that there's quite a bit of room to put things. And then I like to just clip this to hold it in place. So it doesn't move while I'm messing with things. Now I'm going to go back to here to this one. I did this the same way, and because the button's round, see, this can just turn around, so you could actually, you know, if you want Xana to do nose dives or something, he can, and come around here. I put a little bit of glue right back here. And the reason that I did that was because I didn't want this flap coming out too much, because I wanted the button to, I wanted this to slide around, but I wanted the button to stay. This is also a pocket, so you can put this around here. And this is a flap. And I kept this on the flap because it says North Pole. I thought that was cute. But it's just, you can use this as a tuck spot to put things in here. You could put a little glue on the bottom and make it stay, which I may actually do. I haven't decided yet. When I finish decorating this page, I'll take a look at that. Okay? And that is that. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about, let's see how our little angel is doing. Okay? Is something else that I do with round things. Now, this one is made, it's still a paper clip. I'm making the paper clip the same way. And you'll notice that on the back, before I glue it, I've added this little string or ribbon at the back. And at the top of the paper clip, I've got this cute little messed up old Santa Claus that was an earring that I'm hanging on the hook so that he can wave hello at everybody. So I have put the string through the bottom of the paper clip before I taped it, and it's hanging down here. So now, and what this is for the circle instead of coasters. This is the end of a ribbon thing. There's 2 sides after you use up the ribbon. I just tear that off, and these also make great circles and supports for these coasters. Okay, so I'm going to start with gluing this on the back. I probably got this at a, Goodwill or someplace, looking at, on sale for $1.20, or else I've had it for years and years and years. Okay, now I've put the clip so that these trees and the Hot Cocoa Cove are right side up so you can read them. I'm going to hold this strings a little bit and put it down. So just like the other one, I've got a paper clip that I can clip on the other side, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and add the doily. This doily is going to stick over the edge, so I'm just going to goop it up really here and then go up a little bit up here so I get close to the edge. Now the other thing I could do is go around the edge of this and then stick it on. Either way works. Okay, so we're going to put that doily on here, and then this is from the DM Designs blue pages. Aren't these pretty? It's a blue Christmas. I love blue and silver for Christmases, so okay, lots of glue. If you don't have it quite to the edge, you can use the finger tool just to move it out a little bit. Okay, and once again, I have to know where my top is, so that's where that is. And you can see this is the same kind of Santa Claus. of the other one. So I'm putting Santa right there. Now here, what I can do is add strings. I'm going to show you a little, or beads or whatever. I actually picked some pretty large beads for this. Okay, so this is not going to be a problem for these beads, I don't believe. But if you have any problem threading through beads, as long as the bead hole is bigger than your string, or if your string tends to come apart, you can just take a little bit of glue, put them at the bottom. Now I generally, especially this one is fraying a little bit, I generally cut it into a little bit of a point. Okay, add some string, and I'm just twisting it a little bit. Okay, and I'm gonna let that dry. Okay, that gives you a hard point to feed through the beads, and it stops it from fraying and things. Now, if you want to have, especially if you've got a smaller bead, if you want it to stop and not slide up and down the whole string, you can actually tie a knot or two in it, and that'll stop them. In this case, what I'm going to do, because these are so big, I'm going to go ahead and let them slide. I don't care. So I've got this red bead, and I'm going to put another, what is this? This is the silver. The other two I've got are bronze. Okay. Now I'm going to take this little Christmas tree off of here. Christmas tree charm. And I'm just going to tie it to the bottom. Okay. Put the, I didn't even check to see if this thread would go through these. I just assumed it would. Yeah. Okay. So now I'm just going to tie a little knot here. And this actually is elastic thread, but it wouldn't have to be an elastic thread. Just, I had a piece sitting at my desk to use, so I just thought I'd use it up. Okay, tied a square knot. Okay, a little bit of fabric tack to hold it in place. Now, this can go right down there. Okay, now I've got beads in the little Christmas tree that's going to hang down. You can make these long enough so that they would hang through the bottom, or you can make them shorter. Okay, let's put the other beads on. Now these are silver, these are bronze, and gold, mixing up all these colors. I know that bothers a lot of people. It does not bother me, but if you do, just find matching beads. Okay. Now, once again, we're going to tie this on. Now, I often like them to be different lengths. I think they look pretty that way, but you don't have to do that. Okay, tie this up. Glue. Okay. You also can glue these together if you want to. I'm not going to. My hope is that this kind of sitting down there is going to help hold it in place. There, isn't that pretty dangle? And then when you put it on your page, The paper clip goes on one side of the page. Your little Santa can dangle, or whatever you do, can dangle on either side. Here. Or, I thought it was cute to have it dangle on the back and kind of cover up the paper clip. Okay? So that's that idea. So those are my ideas for today. And you can see I'm working on more things. And I'll be sharing those in the next video. I want to once again thank Lisa and Teri for putting this collaboration together and for asking me to be part of it. I'm having a really great time, and I think this Advent book is going to be a lot of fun. Thank you. This is Dorothy Kielty. Please like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the future. Virtually seeing you.